Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Rise of Industry with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to the remainders of the first empire we took over in Rise of Industry, and the remainder of things for us to adjust and hopefully get working right for ourselves. If you're new around here, well, a few episodes ago, what we basically went ahead and did is we bought up our first competitor company, and what do I say, it really left us with quite a lot of work to do, because really there was a lot of a gap in terms of aligning all the logistics, the production frequencies, the way things were just generally set up was super confusing and weird, and well, most of everything now is actually fixed, including technically this part being fixed in terms of the resources we are sending into farms and the resources we're selling out from farms. But still, the farm setup itself is super chaotic and inefficient, because you can see, for example, what the AI did here. It just set up a livestock farm here with 2 fields, and then another one with a singular field. And that's kind of just a theme that goes throughout this entire setup. We've got an orchard here with 2 fields, for example. We've got a plantation with just 2 fields. We've got kind of incomplete setups all over the place. There's even a plantation here with a singular cotton field. There's actually 2 of those. So, yeah, you kind of get the issue here and where I'm coming from. So we're going to kind of try and aim to improve on that today. And there's a few things that we can do in this regard. So first and foremost, of course, what we can do is just, close down some farms, add some fields to others, call it a day. Second option being that we actually research having even more fields per singular farm and then closing down on top farms, because actually just having as little farms as possible with as many fields as possible is the most profitable way to do business. And then option number 3 is to kind of just try and see where we have overheads and maybe find some more advanced products here that we can actually fill with the overheads, then keep all the farms and expand all the farms. One of those options it will be, but it will be a bit of research work to try and find out what we can do with all this stuff. One of my main issues with these setup, with this particular setup ever since, to be honest, has been that it's really just, well, a lot of product just stays a tier 1 product here. And as we all know at this point in the game, just raw products that you just sell aren't really inherently profitable at all. So we need to do something about that. And that's kind of going to be the aim. So part of what we're doing out here today is actually already going into down here, where we're making dyes, where we're actually making clothes. As you can see here, so we've got warehouse 2 where we're selling some of the, well, not selling, we'll be moving some of the cotton to. That seems to be it. I thought we actually did something with the leather. Oh no, we do also do something with the leather. That said, I am not entirely positive that we're actually using up all the leather and cotton. It does not seem to be the case, so there's already something to somehow have in mind there. As a little side note, yes, we did have this topic of delivering paper rolls to Kochsfeld, which should be happening though. Question mark being, do we leave the time running while we do all this other... Well, we can leave it running on 1x for the time being, because technically everything's set up from a logistics perspective. But holy moly, look at the amount of trucks we have going through here. Anyways, though, now, I am... Oh, we actually are even selling dye, it seems, which is interesting. So we've got a lot of optimization potential there, generally. Farmers Market, of course, is taking stuff like these oranges here. We don't have anything more advanced that we would be able to take there at the moment. And here we're selling the dyes. I am not positive we're selling the light fabric out directly also. What seems to be the issue here? We don't seem to be having enough cotton, which is interesting. So maybe that's the first thing that we can look at. Maybe we just look one product after the other. Are we making enough to fill the needs of our factories? Could we be making more in the factories? Or do we even need less? Yeah, so let's start with the cotton, and we'll just, try and be a little methodic about it, one thing after another. And as you can see, cotton does seem to be quite the pain point here. Holy moly, okay. Wow. Alright, let's have a quick look here. First and foremost, if we only use the cotton for the light fabric production... Textile factory, 210, 1, and 3. 3, 1, 2, 10. Yes. So that is all that we use the cotton for down here. And as far as I remember, this should be set up in a way that we are always... Yeah, always only sending stuff out to... Wait. We've got 48 units of cotton in here. Do we have a constraint at this warehouse at the moment? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. So before anything, to be honest, we have a bit of a logistics issue to solve there, it seems. Question being if that's something that is bound to resolve itself based on the changes made, or if that's a snowballing issue at the moment. So let's leave the time running there a little bit and just cross-check the capacities of cotton. So we've got 4 of these. We're using 2, so we're using 4 every 30 days. We're using 16 units of cotton every 30 days. All right. One field then is making 2 units, so we need 8 fields effectively. This plantation has got 2, and there's a bit of lag. I'm actually not sure which of these fields belongs to which. Let's just count fields, alright? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Wait. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is all we need. So this thing down here, we don't need for starters, and then we'll pass that. Everything else is a bit chaotic as well, admittedly. What I'm thinking here... Well, let's have a look in a second at the light fabric, if we can actually make an expansion happening. Currently we're over fulfilling the need slightly, and we could even trim down things and make them more effective. Also though, okay, it seems that goods are starting to flow out here, so hopefully all good. I am a little bit looking at the milk and the wheat. The wheat does seem to be going into livestock farms, of course, which makes sense. Do we have an overflow set up for it though? We don't. We probably should get that set up if we can. Yes, because we can sell wheat down there. So let us do this. Given that we don't have a destination yet, we will say that we can go and send wheat. Well, for now at least. Let's see if we can make anything more advanced in a minute. For the time being, we'll say that we can send it to Warehouse 7, but we have got a min kept of like 25. You know, to have a good buffer, just in case, but, you know, everything else we sell. We don't need to overdo things there. Question with the milk, we should have an outgoing for that, because we don't have... Why is it going to Warehouse 6? And where is Warehouse 6? Oh, it's in a different county, maybe? Why are we... Oh, here. Oh! Oh, Webham's was just upgraded, I believe? I am not entirely sure. That's interesting. Okay. But we'll let that be what it is. Let's get this at normal speeds again. So, otherwise, storage-wise, so we do have somewhere to sell out this milk to. Yeah, we just... This is a bit of a logistical nightmare again, is it? Not quite sure what to do about that, because technically all the water we've already moved onto irrigation towers, so it's now just literally the ingoing and outgoing traffic for this, and well, to be honest, one warehouse is very little for all this stuff, so not necessarily liking that. Also, what seems to be the issue here now? Not entirely sure. Oh. It's just full, maybe? Oh. Deliver heavy pulp to Webams. First and foremost, having made progress here? Yes, and a lot of it, which is beautiful. We should be making heavy pulp, and we are, but also I think we are actually using a heavy pulp in production, if I'm not totally mistaken. I'm not just selling it, right? Or are we just... Are we literally just selling? No. Wait. Where's the heavy pulp going? Warehouse 6, warehouse 1. Oh, it does seem to be the case that we're just selling that, huh? Well, warehouse 1 down here is actually an interesting choice. State. Oh, we're just selling that across the border. It's just like a little bit of a fallback of selling extra things across the border if we can take... Okay. Yeah, and then warehouse 6 is... Okay, well that's actually doable. We'll go and bid on that and we'll try and get that contract for ourselves. Down here then... Well, firstly, we seem to have the cotton issue a little bit resolved, at least temporarily, but I'm not liking, to be quite honest with you all, the way that this is going in terms of, you know, just logistical burden on the entire network. What would be great is if we could build a train terminal, but I think... Oh, sorry. Wrong warehouse. Firstly, we won the contract, so let's quickly go and set that up, because we do need to make sure that we will fulfill it. So, we'll just set it up as an on-top order, and just hope that that's enough, and we'll monitor the contract progress, of course. Technically, to be honest, we could just be selling it from warehouse 6, actually. Because we are already moving stuff to warehouse 6. So let's do that instead. Oh, we've got a 64 backed up in there. Are we over-fulfilling things that much? Holy moly, yeah, that's a bit crazy, to be honest. Also something we may want to be looking at. I mean, nevertheless, we're making great money, but really not that efficient. Now, I would, as I said, really love to be able to set up a train terminal down here. I think the issue is there's just no space for a train terminal here. Well, unless we tear down some stuff that we don't need anymore, which could happen potentially. But it would mean that we would have to tear down this orchard, this potato farm maybe not as much, but the orchard and the cotton farm would have to go. And then we can kind of just route some train lines like along here and have everything go down to warehouse 2 that way, you know. It would save a little bit of logistical burden. I am not sure if you can branch off train lines, you know, if we could maybe have multiple trains running, you know, also one to warehouse 7, but I don't think that's an option. So yeah, but still, you know, that would be a great start. Anyways, though, so let me just cover very briefly how we set this up now. Are we selling any of the light fabric? It appears we very much are. Now the question is, how much overhang do we have then? The clothing store would take 9 every 15 days, which is actually quite a lot, I feel. Surely we can't be pushing out 9 every 15 days. And we only really need the cotton for it, so that's good. Yeah, we're only pushing out 8 every 15 days, plus, well, you know, we're actually reusing some of that here. So, goes into, oh, okay. Goes into a lot of stuff. Well, actually not a lot. It's just 2 types of more advanced fabric, I guess, that we're making. The light and the heavy fabric. Ah, it's fibers. Sorry. I thought this was light fabric. We're making fibers and then they're going into fabric, which makes sense. So, okay. Well, we do have a lot that we make, but still. We're basically using 2 units every 15 days here. And that's it. Yeah? Oh no, sorry. We've got another, so we're using 3 units every 15 days, basically? Yeah. 3 units of fiber every 15 days. Well, we could definitely make more. The question is then if we reuse that in some even more advanced production or otherwise. I think we're going to take quite a long time to take care of this, because even this will, you know... Actually, I'm expanding that now through expanding this, and then... Oh, God. Okay, so, in any case, what we're basically doing is we have an excess of 5 units every 15 days, and we would be able to sell an excess of 9 units every 15 days, which means we could comfortably support another 2 textile factories and sell the wares out of that, if we don't then end up making those even higher tier products, in which case, we could support even more. So, what we will end up doing now is we will set up another 2 textile factories, for the time being, for starters. I do have the feeling that that's not going to be the end of things, but it's where we're going to start off. And we're going to have some fun times with terrain. But we'll maybe set up one right there. And we will go and set the other one right there. Just, not trying to also not build too much here, because, maybe potentially maybe potentially I would like to change that into, hopefully we will be able to build a train line there, so got to keep some space open there. So yeah, everything's already set up the way we want it, so it's going to be making fibers, which is the goal. And the warehouse should already have all the connections set up, so that should be good. Here, the automatic sellout of the fibers, and of course, then in the ingoing and outgoing products, we've got all the fiber stuff. So if we look here, sell factory 14, 15, yes, all good. Now that means that we do need more cotton. I already forgot. No, I didn't. 1 field of cotton makes 1 unit every 15 days, basically, and we're using 2 every 15 days on top. So we've got 6 factories now, right? Yes, we've got 6 factories now, which means we use 12 units of cotton every 15 days, which means we need to have 12 cotton fields. Now, the question becomes, before we make any decisions here, how much does it cost to actually research having more fields on a farm? Plantation fields, 400k. Plus the 200 that this would cost us. So we would put 600k of research in. Well, but it would allow me optimizations at other farms too, to be honest. How much would this save me, though? We can have a little look here. This should only have 1 field, yes. So I'm guessing a field is about 3k in upkeep. Which means that 4.5k is the farm for itself. So if I can have 5 fields instead of 3 fields, that's another 2 fields I can support per farm. So it's 2/3 of 4.5k, which means 3k. So we're saving 3k for every... Well, making this complicated, am I not? But so say we are saving ourselves like maybe... I would say we're saving like 2 farms over here, which means we would save like about 9k. We do have some more farms. Is this daily upkeep? Is this monthly upkeep, by the way? Just says upkeep. How often is upkeep charged? Yeah, see, that's a good question. I've got no idea. I will research that for a second. I'll be right back. Alright, back I am. So... It's sometimes a little tough to get all the information on Rise of Industry, I feel, but what it feels like, what it seems to be, is that this is the monthly upkeep, which makes some sense, I think. So let's say we can save 9k right here, alright? And then over here, well, I guess we would maybe save 1 farmer, if we think about it properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Well, we've got 9 fields. You know, we would save ourselves 1 farm. So we would save like 13k a month. Well, it was a long time to recuperate the investment, to be honest. Oh, we have some stuff down there. Well, to be honest, we've got to put the money into something, right? So let's just quickly go and research this. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. We'll just research this at max speed, and then we'll make this estimate. Not estimation. Firstly, also more farm storage, which, given our recent logistics problems, is maybe not too bad. But yeah, we'll go and make this happen for ourselves. And in the meanwhile, let me check. Seems the deliveries are going well, so that's beautiful. Cool. Alright, now 10 million. We're making so much money, it's crazy. That was the research done for us, at least for this. We'll have to research it for the other items as well if we decide we want it, which for the orchards I'm not too sure, but maybe for the livestock farms. Now we can have 5 fields at plantation. And, geez, so many figures to keep in mind. 12, we need 12 fields. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at the moment. Okay, we want 12. So let's go and start with this one, because that is going to be a rather easy one to start expanding all the way out on the outskirts. Right here. So that's 5 to get started. Then we have this overlap here, which doesn't make any sense. So we're going to go and how do I get rid of a farm? Oh, right, down here. Sorry. We'll go and get rid of this one, I guess. Yeah. Cool. And we will go and expand that one then in return. 2, 3. That makes sense, I guess. This plantation, to be honest, is in the worst spot possible. Now we've got 10 fields already. Holy moly. Can I expand this one to 5? I hope so. Yeah, that's quite possible. 3. Well, technically this is the amount of fields we need. Let me first and foremost also demolish that farm. So we're already saving 9k a month here. Making things more efficient and, crucially, gaining a little bit of space for a potential railway. In fact, we don't even need to demolish this orchard. We can just move the fields, probably. So yes, that's nice. And we really, 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 really need that train line, I think, to at least somewhat ease logistics burden. Especially since we're expanding down there now, right? I mean, we're going to ferry more material down, not less. So yeah, it's a bit of a logistics challenge to accomplish, huh? Or to take care of, at least. The question being now, can we sell excess cotton down here? And I'm thinking currently... Oh no, the answer is yes. Alright, so... we will probably just expand this farm to the max, given that we're incurring the costs for the existence of the farm itself anyways. We'll leave as much space as possible for that livestock farm down there, of course. Cool! That's the cotton optimized away, and in fact, that is us making even more money off of that cotton, because now we're making that into light fabric. We can sell that, and that's very, very nice and handy. Now, let's see if that's going to be enough in terms of cotton input, because my feeling is that we'll probably expand this entire thing down here even further, and then we'll have even more of a need of cotton. Which is crazy. As if I wasn't making enough money already, huh? Will take us 80 million to take that corporation over, but to be honest, I'm not feeling that this is going to be that much of a challenge at this point. We'll see. I don't know. What I quickly want to check is where were we in terms of loans? Okay, we've got one here, paying 4% interest. Maybe the question if we can replace it for a better one? No, it's just a settlement loan that you start off with, is it? No, it isn't actually. How am I getting 4% interest here while everything else... Oh, right, we had this sort of... Didn't we have this sort of benefit where all the loans were cheaper for us? So yeah, I guess that's that. I mean, that's fine. We'll not pay that back because the interest rates are super cheap. We'll just keep that. Paying back slowly, I think that is pretty good. Now, the question then is going to be, I think, in the next episode already, because holy moly, we're spending a lot of time, and I think we're about to spend a whole lot more. The question in the next episode, first and foremost, is going to be maybe what we do with all the orchards and with the fruits, you know. I'm tending to think I want attached production lines, because we do also have smoothies and stuff, right? Didn't we have something that we can make of it? We'll find out. I think we may be able to do that, but we're not able to sell that yet, so we need to find out. If we don't, then we're just going to optimize a way at it, and for the time being, in terms of, you know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not much to optimize. But if we don't optimize, then that's the important point. We'll be moving these orange fields, and we'll urgently set up a train to master the logistical challenges here. Because you can see the outgoing traffic is just too much currently. We're not getting enough cotton to where it needs to be, as you can also see. So we need to go and switch that to the railway line. After that is done, my feeling is that first and foremost, given that we're already working with cotton, we will be looking down here and seeing if we cannot make more money by setting up more textile factories that produce more stuff that we can sell at higher tiers, and then setting up even more textile factories that, you know, produce fabric for us to sell, and so on and so forth, until we are kind of at a point where we are selling as much as possible to that clothing store, making as much money as possible, which I think makes all the sense in the world, because that is, to be honest, the most profitable part of what we're doing up here. So we'll be optimizing away further at that. Once that is all done, we will then come back to the livestock, to the orchards, and let's see what else we can do right there. I think that is then going to be pretty straightforward in terms of, you know, just getting rid of whatever is inefficient, optimizing away a bit, but, you know, there's no attached production that we would have at the moment where we could really sell much of anything at the moment. So I think that's really going to be the most straightforward deal, but cotton is where the money is at, so that is what we'll keep working on in the next episode. But for today, I would like to end this one off right here. I hope you all very much enjoyed it. Of course, as usual, if you did, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button right down below, as well as that subscribe button if you do want to stay around for future episodes. And with that said, as usual, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.